Hello, brothers and sisters. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending with where we are. It's me here, Odon Bulamba, who is going to bring to you today's news, today's information about the DRC. So I'm going to present you our daily program, which is known as NJO LEO, which means today is the day. And during this program, I will share with you what has been taking place, what has been happening in the Congo for the past maybe 24 hours. So therefore, I will invite you to be with me and to spend some time with me, focusing, exchanging ideas, and being updated with what is happening or what has been taking place in our little big country, the DRC. Without taking longer, let me give you the main points, the main lines of our news today. So the Big Kasai, which is like a coalition, a group of 5 provinces in Kasai, has decided that they have to look after their security and infrastructure, which has been going so wrong since that operation of Kamwina Sampu that took place a few months earlier. Therefore, the governors of those 5 provinces in the Great Kasai have come together and they spent 3 days together to prepare a memorandum to ask for support in order to see how they can rebuild their infrastructure and bring back their peace in those regions. The second part that I will talk about will be about Robert Petit. Robert Petit, who is one of the experts for the United Nations and has been dealing with the assassination of the 2 officers of the UNHCR, of the United Nations in Kasai. So those 2 people were killed in that operation Kamwina Sampu, and I believe that I made one of the program based on that. So if you go back to my videos, you'll see it. So those people were assassinated with the Kamwina Sampu. So therefore, Petit Robert and his team of UN experts, they came to Congo to do some type of investigation. However, unlikely, I would say, or unfortunately, the Republic Democratic of the Congo doesn't allow them to do the investigation, because according to the Congolese law, only the Congolese people can do the investigation in such cases. So UN is there only to advise the Congolese experts, the Congolese investigators, on what to do, specifically on the area of justice. I will also talk about another point with regard to Alexis Tambwe Mwamba, who is the Minister of Justice in Congo. He was called to stand in front of the Court of Belgium. For what reason? Because he gave an order to bring down a civilian airplane in 1998. So he was charged. The family members of those who lost their lives in that plane, they came together, they hired a lawyer, and they took the matter to court. So Alexis Tambwe Mwamba, yesterday, he stood up in front of the court and he was trying to explain himself what took place in 1998 when he gave the order to this group known as a RDC or RDC, which is like, how to put it in English, it's like a group of rebellious movement, you know, which is like a Rassemblement Congolais pour la Démocratie. It's like a group which puts Congolese together for the democracy. Such rebellious movement, Alexis Tambwe Mwamba was one of the leaders. Unfortunately, or fortunately, or unlikely, he gave the order to his soldiers to shoot down that airplane, and several people, several civilians, more than 40, lost their lives in that situation. The other thing that I'll talk about will be the condemnation or the final word of the lawyer, of the judge, with regard to the case of Franck Diongo. So Franck Diongo stood in front of the Court of Appeal or Court of Cassation to for the judge to remove the 5 years which was given to him to spend in prison. And his lawyers were very sure that the judge of the Cassation Court is going to turn that decision down. Unlikely, he didn't. He stuck on that decision, and he says that from the 5th of September, Franck Diongo was supposed to remain in prison for 5-year time. It has been almost 10 months since ANER, it's another movement, it's another group which work for the security of Kabila. It's like a service which has been there to inform, to spy, to control the country for Kabila. So the ANER has been arrested this young person known as Christian Lumu Lukusa. Christian Lumu Lukusa, who is like one of the leaders, the youth leaders for UDPS, the political part of Tshisekedi. So he was under arrest since the 22nd of November last year, while he went to visit a commercial center in Limete. Since then, he has been just under control of this group of ANR. And the group so far doesn't give him the chance to appear to court, the chance to speak to the judge, or the chance again to charge him. So they just keep him, and his health conditions has been deteriorating day after day. We know that our schools opened the doors yesterday, so children, on Monday, children have started to go back to school. However, many children don't go back to school due to several reasons, and I'll try to pin out a few reasons among them during this news time. 7 of those who were under arrest, 7 of the Lucha group, the group that I told you yesterday, those 7 that I mentioned to you yesterday, who appeared in front of the judge in Goma because they were protesting against that voting machine. Those people were acquitted. Now they are free. They walked free from the court of law yesterday. And those who were admitted to hospital were also discharged, and they will continue to go to follow up with their treatment from home. So these are the points that I'm going to develop, but I will develop them briefly in order to stick to our rule of 15 minutes, maybe a little bit more. Thank you for your understanding. We'll start with Kasai. The 5 governors in the Great Kasai, as I said, the Great Kasai is composed with 5 provinces. And those 5 provinces are known as Kasai, the province of Kasai, that's 1, the province of Kasai Central or Central Kasai, that's 2, the province of Oriental Kasai, 3, the province of Lomami, and the province of Sankuru. Those 5 provinces make the big or the Great Kasai. So, the Great Kasai was a victim of the Operation Kamuna Sampu. If you know, or if you don't know, just check a little bit on the internet. They will tell you how the Kamuna Sampu ravaged, attacked, killed, and created a climate, a season, a weather of disaster in the Great Kasai. Many people took off. They left their belongings. They lost, many people also lost their lives. And on top of that, many things like many things or goods or infrastructure of those regions were destroyed. Among them are schools, hospitals, roads, and so on. So people took off. The governors now of those areas, they believe that it's time to start to rebuild those provinces, to start to bring back security, because insecurity since then has been controlling the skins, the bones, the minds, and the blood of the population in Kasai. Therefore, governors have met together for 3 days discussing how they are going to do in order to bring back the security in their respective provinces, and how to work on their infrastructure which were really damaged, in order also to bring back or to invite the population to come back and live in their respective villages, cities, and so on. Therefore, those governors came together and they wrote a memorandum which was sent to many people, international organizations as well as the national organizations, including the government, asking for support, for financial support, for those who can, for those who have the ability to support, for those who want to support them. This is a time to intervene, to give to them a little bit in order to see if they will rebuild their schools, they will restructure the medical centers, they will renovate things which were which are all the things which were destroyed, and put together the safety of the population. And after that, invite that group or those who left the country, went to Angola and different places around, scattered around the country, to come back to Kasai, and that will help Kasai to stand on its feet again. The two experts of the United Nations who went to Kasai for the same purpose, to investigate about the disaster which was caused by the Kamwina Sampu, were also killed. They were assassinated. And I posted one video in the past about those people. So Michael Sharp and Zaida Catalan were the victim of the Kamwina Sampu movement on the 12th of March 2017. That was in Kasai Central. So United Nations has sent on the field, has sent to Kasai its experts to investigate the death of those officers. Unlikely, the government of the Congo did not allow those investigators to do their job, by saying that only, according to the law of the Congo, only the government of Congo can investigate such a matter. So that was a disappointment for the United Nations, who were given a task of only advising the Congolese justice system on how to handle the case, rather than giving them the chance to investigate their officers who were killed during this calamity. For during that situation of their death in Kasai Central Kasai, the chief of the village where those two people were killed was arrested. This man who was arrested during that time, known as Bulabula or Constantin Chidime, was put to jail, was put under the arrest, and suddenly he came up and he started to request if he can be freed, or if he can be maybe temporarily be free in order to go back home and to be just with his people while the investigation is going on. But the Congolese authorities have said no to his request, because they believe once he is released, he may vanish, he may disappear, and they will never see him anymore or see him again. So that is the situation of Kamwina Sampu, as I've just said. Those people have been going through that. Those people have been going through that tension, pressure, insecurity in that region, and we all know who created this movement, who is behind it, and who is doing what. So Congolese people, I think that they understand what has been happening and why this has been taking place. Anyway, on Monday, only 13 people stood in front of the judge, and we hope that the case will continue. Although the judge has given to investigators the X time, meaning that indefinite time to continue to investigate on this case. The case has been so elastic, has been taken so long in order to come to a conclusion, which is a frustration for the United Nations, for all of us, to see how this case can take so long without any outcome. And the judge again, furthermore, gives more time to those investigators to take as much as time they want, as much as time they can, in order to finish with this case. This will lead us to the situation of Alexis Tambwe Mwamba, who is the Minister of Justice in the Congo. This guy was called to stand in front of the Court of Law in Brussels, in Belgium, where he was accused to be the man who did the crime against the humanity. He gave an order to his soldiers, to his rebels, to shoot down an airplane, a civilian airplane. In that airplane, there were more than 40 civilian people who lost their lives. So the families of those victims gathered together, found a lawyer, and they took this matter to court. Therefore, Tambwe Mwamba was called to stand up in front of the court and to explain what took place. And the court listened to him for almost 4 hours, more than 3 hours. By saying whatever he was saying, he mentioned this is Tambwe Mwamba. Tambwe Mwamba said that he was just trying to explain that he has never stole from the Congo. People say that he was just making money illegally. He said he has never made any money illegally, and he has never looted the country, which is a DRC. However, there is a rumor, there is something which is known that Tambwe Mwamba purchased in the past a very big mansion, I would say, in Belgium, a very expensive mansion, but he denied that in front of the court of law. So the lawyer of Tambwe Mwamba believed that the government or the justice of Belgium should never and ever charge or put his client in front of the bar or behind the cells or behind the door, as we say, to send him to prison. He believes that the incompetency of the government, the system justice of Belgium, because they are not competent to do so, according to him, because Tambwe Mwamba is not a Belgian citizen. However, on the other hand, the lawyer who represents those families said the law in Belgium stipulates that the government of Belgium, the justice system of Belgium can put under arrest any person whom residency, the main residency is Belgium. Therefore, the main residency of Tambwe Mwamba is Belgium. So Tambwe Mwamba can be charged, can be under arrest, and can pay the price of what he did, he gave as order. But Tambwe Mwamba continues to say, yes, he was there that day, but he didn't. It's not him who should maybe be charged with those crimes. Instead, he puts that crime on the shoulders of the leaders of the RDC, which was a rebellious movement of that time. He said those who were leading that militia as responsible for this crime. We'll wait and see what the court of law will come out with in coming days. We'll pass straight away to the case of Franck Diongo. Franck Diongo has been under arrest for some time, and Franck Diongo was given 5 years to serve for 5 years. His lawyers have been fighting so hard, working so hard in order to see Franck Diongo to be acquitted. Therefore, they appealed the decision of the district court in order to say Franck Diongo should spend 5 years in jail. Unluckily yesterday, because we are now the 6th today, unluckily yesterday, the court of law, the court of appeal, the court of cassation turned that decision down. And they say that Franck Diongo cannot be acquitted of those 5 years which were given to him. So he's going to serve for 5 years. For those who don't remember, Franck Diongo was charged for sequestrating 3 soldiers of the Garde Républicaine. So 3 soldiers of Kabila. He put them under arrest. He sequestrated them. He kept them somewhere like a slave, maybe like a prisoners for a number of days. That was a reason for charging him or leading him wherever he has been up to now. Although people have been talking about other cases of rape and so on, but the court has just mentioned the sequestration was the main issue. That's the issue that they gave to us, they presented to us in order to keep Franck Diongo behind the bar. People of the Lucha, those that I told you yesterday, the militants of the Lucha who were under arrest in Goma, the judge came up with a decision to acquit them. He let them go, all the 7, without paying anything, without reparating anything, and he says they must go walk away free. We wonder if the judge now will look on the other side and charge those who charged them without any wrongdoing. However, although those in Goma walked free from the judge, in Bukavu, as I told you, the demonstration didn't take place. But some girls, some women of the Lucha, of the same group, who were also demonstrating, who wanted to demonstrate because of saying no to the voting machine, because of saying no to the fraudulent elections that Congo is going to face tomorrow. Those girls, a number of girls were under arrest. And the police of the Congo sexually abused them. However, when the leader, when the commander arrived and those girls complained to the commander to say, look, we were sexually abused with your policemen, the response of the commander, the shocking response of the commander was, you deserve that. So you were raped, you were sexually abused, that is what you deserve. Up to you to analyze, up to you to come up with a conclusion. Anyway, we'll move forward and look at the case of this brother, this young boy, this young person known as Christian Lumu Lukusa. Christian Lumu Lukusa, as I told you, is one of the youth leader who has been fighting for UDPS, the political party of Tshisekedi. He's only 27 and he was arrested around a commercial center in Limete by the people of ANR, which is a secret service for the government. They took him since then. It's almost 10 months now or more, and they've been keeping it somewhere. And he doesn't have access to anything except for his lawyer, but his health has been deteriorating day after day. They don't give him the chance to stand in front of the judge. They don't give him the chance to see his family or to discuss about exactly what took place and why he is under arrest. So we are therefore asking for the government to look at this matter, for the court of law to act and release this young person who has the freedom of expressing himself. He has got also the freedom of organizing demonstration for his political party. That is democracy. So finally, we'll go to a final point, which is, our kids went back to school on Monday in the Congo, but I will tell you that several children didn't have that opportunity to go back to school for one or another reason. Some of them didn't go back to school because, for example, in Malemba Nkulu, elephant will leave the forest, the bush, and elephant will walk towards the villages, and those elephants kill human beings. Many parents were afraid to send their children to school in order to avoid any type of accident or any type of danger to happen to them. If you look around Ituri, Beni, or Maliki, for example, there are also children didn't go back to school because of that big fight, that big enemy of humanity, which is known as Ebola. The virus of Ebola has been making lives harder in Beni, in North Kivu. So many children don't go to school around that area. In Sud Kivu, also South Kivu, in Bijombo, for example, and other places in Masisi, there are wars which have been taking place there. So in those war zones, it's almost impossible to send the children to school. And as I told you yesterday, parents don't have salaries. By not having salaries, it's almost impossible to send yours to school. It's almost impossible to pay for their fees, to buy them books and so on. Therefore, several children didn't go to school because of lack of money, no salaries. People are living a life without being paid. They have been working, but there is no salary in the Congo, including the teachers themselves. So parents have decided maybe for their children to stay home. And the schools also have decided if there is no payment, why to send to you your children? They will send them back in return, in revenge. So those are the reasons. And I will show to you some pictures. I will make a small PowerPoint or just a few photos. I'll post them later on today about schools conditions in the Congo, particularly in Kabare. And we say thank you very much, Brother Alfo, to send to us those photos, which are of great value for the people of the world to see how our children at primary school in Kabare and in many places in the Congo, they study. Just to have an idea, and to them, to all of us, to all of them, to come up with a conclusion. And if possible, we'll try to support them. We'll try to initiate maybe something supporting those kids. So this will lead us to the end, will lead us to the end of our program today. Thank you for your patience. I've taken some extra minutes, which I shouldn't. So I will say my apologies for that. Our Congo is big, our Congo will remain one, our Congo will remain united, our Congo will remain stronger, we'll work each other, we'll remain loving each other, and together we are going to win the battle. May God bless the Congo, may God bless us, may God be with us, may God take the lead of our lives. So we say thank you for watching us, thank you for assisting us, for helping us, or for being with us at all the steps that we make. Once again, I wish to you a best day, a wonderful evening, a wonderful morning, plain or full of success and full of victory. Thank you and see you again soon.